Fantasy football, RSVP, we're back. So let's get right to it. Go deep with our fantasy football draft top 12. Let's think about this logically, intelligently, strategically. Obviously, the number one pick is Justin Jefferson. Anyone who does not pick Justin Jefferson is really being a fool about it, because that guy is going to have a monster year. They're changing into that whole motion passing offense, getting away a little bit from the running game. Madison may suffer a little bit from that. He'll still get some numbers with Dalvin Cook gone, but I really think Justin Jefferson's clearly the number one pick. Number two, for me, you're going with passing, running backs. Running backs, you don't have the bell cow running backs like we used to. Only certain teams do have them. The 49ers do have, some people coming back off injury, Big Joel and stuff, but Christian McCaffrey is clearly the number two pick. Okay, he's going to have a really, really big year. He gets his touchdowns, his passes. I mean, he's as reliable a 20-point guy every week very easily. And I would stick with Christian McCaffrey over any other pick. To me, he's clearly the number two. To me, also, Jamar Chase is clearly the number three pick. 2 years ago, he was on a ridiculous pace. And they have other receivers. You can't double Chase. When you have the other receivers on that team catching, and a great quarterback, I really think Chase is clearly the number three pick. Then you start to get into the number four pick. This is where things get a little interesting. I typically, hands down, would pick Cooper Kupp. He is the most consistent receiver week in and week out. He may not get you Tyreek Hill numbers, where he puts up, a 30 or a 35, or, sometimes Tyreek Hill could put up a 40. But there are other weeks where Tyreek Hill's receptions are low, and I'm not saying Tyreek Hill is a boom or bust, but I would pick Cooper Kupp. However, Cooper Kupp, being a personal trainer, and I give you a licensed massage therapist, and giving you the health and well-being injury report every week, and knowing about those kind of things and dealing with those kind of injuries. I told a friend of mine a few weeks ago, I said, I'm very concerned about Cooper Kupp's hamstring injury, because those have a tendency to stick around, especially when they come early in the season and people aren't quite in the routine of shape, and their muscle memory doesn't bounce back as fast. And you got to really keep your eye on it. And then lo and behold, last week he had a setback, and now he's seeing a specialist. And that has now made me bump Cooper Kupp down in the list, even though I like him a lot. I'm also concerned with Cooper Kupp playing at the end of the year. I don't see the Rams being a very good team this year. I really don't. And it's not that I don't believe in the coach or anything like that. It's just the other teams out there, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Giants, the 49ers, Detroit. There are other teams. Even Seattle may make some noise. There are other teams that I just think will finish a lot better than they will. So I don't think they will do well, and there is a chance that if they're out of it at the end of the year, the last few games of the season, Kupp may not even play. Okay, they may just save him, for the next year and reload. And those are the kind of things you have to think about. Nobody ever thinks at the end of the season, but you got to think at the end of the season as much as beginning of the season. Go deep, go deep. Anyway, so that's how I feel about it. I would go Tyreek Hill in the fourth slot. Then in the fifth slot, there aren't that many bell cows. As I said, there's a lot of like the dual running back or the shared running back position, or whatever you want to call it. But Austin Eckler is a pretty good pick, and this is all for PPR, by the way. Is a really good pick here, because he's going to get his 4 or 5 catches a game for 50 yards, and he's going to get his 70 or 80 yards a game. And if you just look at that conservatively, you're looking at 15 to 20 points almost every week. So for that reason alone, it's and he gets his touchdowns too. So, I mean, he could be closing in on 15, 20 points almost every week in, week out. I would go Eckler at the 5. Then at 6, I would go Cooper Kupp. But chances are he may not play the first couple of weeks, because I heard the coach saying that they want him to perform well, not just to play, but to be at a high performance rate before he's in. So he may miss the first couple of weeks. And those hamstring injuries, they stick around. I'd be very careful of them. They stick around for a long time. So I do have Cup at the 6. Then, then I think at this point, people ask me, how high do you want to draft Travis Kelce? And they're like, should I take him at the 6? Should I take him at the 5? Should I take him at the 4? I honestly don't think you take Travis Kelce before those 6 players. Okay, you just don't. Yes, you're scoring in the position where other people aren't scoring. There's only a few good, tight ends out there, but those players are just better, and you really want those 6. Travis Kelce is a good pick at 7. I think that's something that should definitely be considered. Then I would go receiver and Stephon Diggs. I think Diggs came down a little bit last year. There was something wrong with the Bills' whole offense last year. Even though they were a good team, even though they played well, and they were right there, division and all that. I saw them kind of come down a little bit, and I think that they're going to be a high-powered offense again this year, and I think Diggs, is there now, and I think he's going to have a big year. The guy's super talented, great quarterback, and I think they're going to find their receivers, and he's going to do well. Now, we have the 9th pick. I think at this point, I hear lots of names like Bijan Robinson and CeeDee Lamb and all these things, but I think you got to go Saquon Barkley. Okay, he's coming off injury the year before last, and last year he really came on strong. And if you notice at the end of the year, he kind of tailed off at the end of the year. And that's just a matter of getting in shape and the injury, and they relied so heavily on him last year. They won't need to do that this year. They got Waller, they got Campbell, they got Wanda Robinson coming back, they got Slayton. They have weapons this year. Okay, the Giants are a strange team. I am a New York Giant fan, of course. I don't like to say that, but I am. And I'm from New York, but I try to stay neutral. But they're a team where they improved in almost every area. They're going to get more opportunities, and they won't need to use Barkley as much with the offense going forward. So he'll be more open. They can't load against the box, which they were doing last year, and that's why he was so worn out. But he's had another year to train. He's in fantastic shape. Good reports coming out with his workouts with his trainer for burst of speed, and I think I'm going to take him 9 times over 10 over a rookie in Bijan Robinson against an offense with a team. I feel the Atlanta Falcons are a very mediocre team. And now you have a rookie coming in. You haven't even seen the guy play yet. And yeah, he's projected to have a big year, but I'm taking Barkley over Robinson. It's just that simple. But I am taking them in that order. So that's 9 and 10. And then I would probably go to 2 receivers at that point. And I think A.J. Brown had a really great year last year and really solidified himself. And they have other great receivers, as you know, on that team. But he really solidified himself as a great chemistry weapon with Hurts and moving forward there. And I think he's just going to have a really big year. Some people like putting Lamb before A.J. Brown. I don't know. It's just something about Dallas that is always a question mark. Lamb's been injured. Super, super talented. And I do take Lamb at the 12th spot. Okay? And he's super, super talented. But, I've played Dallas receivers before and, through the years. And there's always like some crazy thing that comes up with their offense or not just the quarterback going down, but, injuries and their offense. Are they running the ball? Are they passing the ball? Are they a pass first team? Are they a run first team? And now they have Pollard without Elliott. And, you just don't really know the direction. There's a lot of question marks about their offense. Yes, Dak is a great quarterback, and he throws the ball out there, and CeeDee Lamb's very talented enough to be the 12th seed. But just, I don't know, I always feel uneasy about picking, a Dallas receiver. because many times it didn't work out fantastically for me. But definitely he's a super talented guy, and he's due. So that's why I have him at the 12. Anyway, it's great to be back. We've had a couple of years with COVID and stuff like that. We've been out, but we're back. Go deep. And I'm Dean Curry. This is Fantasy Football RSVP. Check us out on YouTube and have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. It's going to be a great year.